Hello, I'm Sasha of Sasha Makes Cards, and welcome to this month's YouTube hop for a Cherry on Top crafts. The theme for this month's hop is Creative Chaos, and today I'm making a card featuring the Tim Holtz Ideology mini stencil chips, as well as the Picket Fence Studios All Trespassers will be added to the Brew clear stamp set. Now, the theme for this month's hop is a very open-ended theme. I decided to interpret this as really just the whole making of this card is just one big creative chaos. The final result of the card is also pretty chaotic. So that's how I decided to interpret the theme. I had a general idea when I started making this card, however some of my ideas just weren't working, and like I said earlier, it was all pretty chaotic. So I think it worked out well in the end, especially since it goes so well with the monthly theme. I'm just gonna say it was all planned, even though really I didn't know exactly what I was doing most of the time while creating this card. Now, since this is the monthly hop for September, which is hard to believe it's already September, I'm pretty sure I said that the past 2 months, but it really is crazy to see how quickly the year is going by. But anyway, since this is the hop for September, I decided to make a Halloween themed card. Also because I think Halloween goes really well with the overall idea of creative chaos. September for me really marks at least the fun time of the year. Later on in September is the first day of fall, which fall is my favorite season. So I'm very excited about that. But September is also kind of when I feel like you can really dive into the festive holiday crafting with Halloween and Christmas, two of which are things I love to craft for. So September is just kind of fun, at least to me. Plus my birthday is also in September, so I have that to look forward to, I guess. Although I love crafting for Christmas, I definitely think Halloween and Halloween crafting and the Halloween products are my favorite time of the year because I just can't get enough of the Halloween themed stamps and products that come out. I especially love this stamp set that I'm using today. Even the name of it is fun. All Trespassers will be added to the Brew. I couldn't pass it up just on the name alone. But anyways, maybe I should say a little bit of what I'm actually doing to make the card, rather than rambling on. I first started by stamping one of the images as well as a sentiment from the stamp set onto alcohol marker friendly paper using an alcohol marker friendly ink. For this, I'm using the Gina K Designs Obsidian Ink Cube. I then fussy cut the image out as well as trimmed the sentiment. Very simply colored the image using a couple of alcohol markers as well as a Prismacolor Premier colored pencil. The great thing with the images in this stamp set, and really any kind of image with all the details that are stamped out, is that you don't have to get too fancy with the coloring. Because a lot of the details are already in the stamped image, it kind of helps to add the shading and the details that you would otherwise add in with the coloring, so I kept the coloring very simple with this one. As for the sentiment, I stamped the Happy Halloween sentiment, but then trimmed off the happy part of the sentiment so that I was only left with Halloween, which I'm sure at this point you could probably kind of tell what I'm doing. Using the Tim Holtz Ideology mini stencil chips, I sprayed out the letters for the word happy using some Distress Oxide black soot spray, and I'm going to create happy and then Halloween, putting these kind of two sentiments together. Now, just the sentiments in this stamp set are so fun for just using what's here. The sentiments are perfectly wicked together. Hello, broom hair, don't care. Hey boo, happy Halloween, trick or treat witches. Boo y'all, happy Halloween, and all trespassers will be added to the Brew. There's so many really fun sentiments in this stamp set. However, I really wanted to try something a little different, and I wanted to use the mini stencil chips to achieve that. Which at the time of recording this, the mini stencil chips on a Cherry on Top Crafts are actually on sale. They're in the clearance section for $3.50, usually $6.99, so they are a pretty good price right now. Using these stencil chips, at least for me, was a part of the chaos a little bit when creating this card. My original idea was to spray the happy sentiment right onto an A2 size card. I very quickly learned that that was not going to be a good size for this, and also it wasn't working for me. I didn't like how it was looking. I have just off to the side to me here as I'm recording this voiceover are 2 failed attempts at this. I then decided to switch over to a slimline sized card and then do this kind of tiled effect that you see here, where I sprayed using the black soot Distress Oxide spray onto a scrap piece of white cardstock, cut those out, and then tear them up to create these fun little distress letter tiles. You might be able to see some of the ink on my hands from the black distress oxide spray throughout the making of this card after my failed attempts at making the tiles. However, I just rolled with it and I think it fit the theme quite well. Creative chaos. It was feeling very chaotic while making the card. To create the background for the card, I very simply ink blended a kind of Halloween grungy gradient using some black soot distress oxide as well as some spiced marmalade distress oxide. I ink blended that on a slimline card panel which measures 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches so that I could then place all of the elements on top of it. Once I was ready, I then glued down all of the tiles, the little image, as well as the small sentiment I trimmed out from the stamp set using some liquid adhesive glue. Once I had everything glued down, I decided there was a little too much empty space for something that needed to be chaotic, so I decided to splatter some of the... I sprayed the Distress Oxide spray on top of the card and then unscrewed the cap and splattered a little bit of that spray on there as well. And then I decided I wanted a little bit of color, a little bit of red, because it would be perfect for the Halloween chaotic theme. So I put some red acrylic paint onto my glass matte work surface, sprayed it with some water, and splattered it onto my card using a fan brush. And that is my completed card project for this month's hop. I had a lot of fun creating this card, really embracing the spooky and creative chaos that came with the making of this card. But anyways, be sure to check out the description below for a complete list of all the design team members participating in this hop. Everybody has such a fun interpretation of this month's theme, so be sure to check everyone out and to hop along for a chance to win a $25 gift card to shop at a Cherry on Top Crafts. As well, I will also have the supply list of the things I used to create this card and my social media links in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.